Hi everyone, welcome to Canva Spring Virtual Showcase. My name is Zoe Rath. I work at Norwell Public Library as the Adult Services Librarian. Today I'm going to be going over 3 Canva projects, and just so you know, I have templates, a template link for each of these 3 projects, so don't feel like you have to start them from scratch. The links will be in the notes below. First, I will be going over event calendars. Basically, that's event flyers that highlight events for a particular month. Next, I'll be going over bookmarks and how easy they are to make in Canva. And finally, I'll be going over how you can use Canva text and in a flyer and some basic tips for using Canva with flyers. So event flyers are pretty easy to use, and like I said, especially if you use my template link, it's going to be all you're going to need to do then is change this from March to April or whichever month it happens to be, and then change the day, the date, the time, and then what events are happening. And here's another example, and you can find these kind of fun event graphics in Elements. This is a slightly more complex version. It does take longer because you're going to have to find these different little event images, but most of the time it's fairly easy. If you're doing like this, like you did yoga, just go again to Elements, write in yoga, and you'll get a bunch of different options. It's fun to just put like a little image up here for that month. Some of these images are actually taken from events that are coming up. So I would go to my projects. This is actually a May event. So I write in here in my projects, I write May Instagram, and it comes up. This event came up. I'm also doing board games, so I could click on that and make that smaller. Let's say we're not doing, how about instead of knitting, we're putting this board game. Do you want it big enough that folks can still read it? This is at about 98%. You'll notice that I'm putting the different images first. I'm doing that on purpose. That's a tip. I would suggest putting all your images in the order that you're going to have the events, because let's say I find out that, oh, actually the board game meetup is actually the first before yoga. It's pretty easy to switch at this point. Switch these two. It's going to be harder if I'm going to have to move this down here. So that's why I say put all your images first. Double check, triple check to make sure all your graphics are in the correct order. Then put in, like board game meetup is always on a Saturday, so I put Saturday, put the correct dates in, then put the correct title and then the caption. And just be careful, because especially with the time, sometimes I've put in, maybe this is going to be actually always 10 to 4, but let's say this event is 6:30 to 7:45. Sometimes it's helpful to have a friend or coworker double check your work. Sometimes it's fun to put this image behind here too. So I'm going to just, let's say that we wanted to change this March event to like May. The first thing we're going to want to do is obviously change this to May. I'm going to leave that to you to do that, but I'm just going to show you this color. You could double click on this color. This is called a radiant color, and it's right now it's just the blue and these two greens, but for if it's going to be May, I probably want like different colors, so I'm going to get rid of that green. Instead, I'm going to put kind of this pink. I'm going to get rid of this green and put another pink, maybe like a darker pink. And then maybe this blue, I just want it to be slightly lighter. I'm going to say that that's okay. And then to find, I don't want this clover. Instead, I'm going to say, I'm going to write in spring. And let's say I want these little butterflies in the background. So I'm going to put them there. Obviously, right now, if I printed this out, people might have a hard time reading over these images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on transparency and bring this down all the way to about 12, so that you can just barely see the image, but it's still there. Obviously, don't forget to change this color too. And once you've decided on this top color, it's going to give you that same option. So I usually just stick with the same color. Again, don't think that you have to start from scratch. That's why I've given you a link to templates. So use those. So Canva bookmarks are really easy. You just go to the template and write that you want to do a bookmark. And then once it's showing one bookmark, the nice thing is if you click on design, it's going to end up showing you templates for other bookmarks. And the kids really like the ones in black and white, because then they can, color those in. You can also use an image that you already use, or I really like the animals with books. If you just click on elements and then you write in animal reading, you'll get probably, I would say it's almost 100 different animals reading, including a little caterpillar reading. So, and then adults like bookmark too, so you could use like you could think of like a lighthouse, or maybe a palm tree or something that relates to summer. But sometimes you're going to have an image that you already have that you like to use. Like this one, I have this image. Now the problem with this image is it has a dark background, and let's say I don't want that dark background. I wanted to show you this. This might be old hat for some of you that are Canva nerds, but if you're newer to Canva, it's a really nice tip. If you click on Edit Photo, then you click on Remover, BG Remover. It removes the background. And then we're just going to click in a little bit more, because I wanted to show you how you could get rid of these two. There's two little points that didn't get erased. So again, click on Edit Photo, and then click on Magic Eraser, and then just this little circle is how big the eraser is going to be. So you could have it really big, but no, let's say for this example, we probably want it like about 30. And then you're going to go like that. And we're going to do that on the other side. And you see there's still a little bit that I missed. So I'm going to just go in a little bit. Maybe make the brush a little bit smaller. And then we're going to move out, zoom out a little bit, and we're going to move into the background color. Also, let's get rid of, so we're going to click on this color. It says background color. And I just wanted to show you, here it's showing you all of these photo colors. So that can sometimes actually be useful for doing a background. So we could try that. I think still seems a little bit dark, but it's also suggesting some color palette colors. If you do this one or maybe this one, so just play around with that. Finally, I just wanted to show you another fun bookmark is using book covers. So now you could just use my template, but I also wanted to just show you how you could do this by yourself. You, again, click on Elements, and this time write in Photo Grid. And it's the second option. And you're going to want to make it a little bit bigger. And then duplicate that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So now I have a duplicate. Zoom out a little bit more. And I'm going to shift, so both of these, and group them together. And then duplicate that. And that might be enough, or you could duplicate one more time. And then on the back of the bookmark, I usually, a lot of times I'll put our contact info and the times the library is open. So before I move on to the next project, I just wanted to say I have 3 templates for these 3 projects. There's a link in the notes, so don't feel like you have to start from scratch if you decide you want to use one of these projects. So here's an example of of a very simple flyer. I'm sure we've all done it, just a picture and then the title. The thing is, sometimes you either can't find the exact template that you want in Canva, or you just don't have time and you need to put something up real quick. I used to just, I'd print this out, that was it. And it's not bad, but it's a little bit boring. To make it just a tiny bit more pop out, I would suggest that you click on Elements, click on this square shape, then you're going to want to make this white, And maybe make this a little bit further like that. That could be it. A thing that I've been trying lately is I've been bringing down this. I think I even saw this in a Canva template, so I kind of borrowed from them. You can have this top color come down a little bit further. In that case, you're going to want to bring the image, bring it forward. So that's just an example, and here's another example. And I do like to use this Polaroid template, and that is easily used. Also, just go to Elements again, and this time write in Photo Frame. And it's this third, here's the Polaroid template, photo template that you could use. So then this is just an example of text that these fonts, I probably wouldn't have come up with them. I got this from a Canva template. So sometimes it's useful just to look through a few Canva templates to see if you can find a font that might be good for your title. Finally, this is an example. Well, I was given this image, and it's a little bit hard to read, and also doesn't say what time. Obviously, wasn't going to say what time the event is at and the date. So I needed to put this up at the top. Now, obviously, this is a little bit hard to read because of this clashing white part. So if you click again on Elements, and you again click on the square, and at this point I'm not worrying too much about the color of this background. You're going to click on transparency, and this time, about 50. You want it to, you want to still be able to see the background image, but you don't want it to be, you want it to be easier to read the text. So again, at this point, I'm going to think about the color. So I'm going to click on color. And the nice thing with Canva is that it's showing you these are the colors that are in this image. And so if I click on this, I kind of like this dark gray. And then finally, if you click at this, at the bottom here, you see that it's hard to read this. So again, I'm going to put in this square. And this time, oops. So this needs to bring this forward. So layer, bring forward. And just to make it really stand out, I'm just going to click on white. White and black are usually always given to you as options up at the top. Well, thank you again for joining us for Spring Canva Showcase. I hope you come again.